Yeah. Welcome everyone to the What's Left podcast. John here with Jake and Derek filling in for Brad, who's out with the kids tonight. We are the punk rock garage band of podcast, got our voice to resistance as loudly as we can here on the Derealization Nation Media Network. And Nation, thank you for everything you do, liking and subscribing. If you haven't done it already, do it now, please, and thank you. We are growing, and it's nice to see the family expanding every week. We have a lot to get to. We're going to kind of zero in on some of the uh, let's call them corruptions, the pardons that have gone awry for Trump. We've got some stuff about the Peace Prize that he thinks that he deserves, even though clearly nothing that he says is true about the wars that he's solved. So a lot to get to. Let's start there, though. The president is basically just a toddler. I
Hmm.
and
Yes.
yeah, the whole world knows it, and they treat him as such. Like it, it's it should be more embarrassing for people, and I'm embarrassed that y'all are more embarrassed. Like you should be. Like it's crazy. I want to play the clip, and I was going to just like talk about it because most people would see it, but it is so cringy and so hard to watch, and it is the president of the United States, and it just MAGAs that come across as especially need to be reminded over and over again of how fucking pathetic this looks. Um, so let's play the video.
Mr. President, this is your prize. This is your Peace Prize. There is also a beautiful medal for you that you can wear everywhere you want to go.
Right now.
Okay, please welcome the very first winner of the FIFA Peace Prize, the 45th and 47th President of the United States of America, Mr. Donald J. Trump. Please.
Thank you very much. This is truly one of the great honors of my life. And beyond awards, John and I were discussing this. We saved millions and millions of lives. The Congo, as an example, over 10 million people killed, and it was heading for another 10 million very quickly. And it just, the fact that we could do that, India, Pakistan, so many different wars that we're able to end, in some cases a little bit before they started, just right before they started. It was going to be late, but we got them done, and it's such an honor to be with Johnny. I've known Johnny for so long. He's done such an incredible job. But most importantly, I just want to thank everybody. The world is a safer place now. The United States 1 year ago was.
Okay, that's good enough. Uh, First of all,
Yeah.
it's a lie. Second of all, look at his skin. It looks like a ham right out of the oven. Like it
He
is
got a spray tan for sure. For sure,
what
for sure. He
it's
got a
like
spray tan.
dripping. Or is that the lights? What's wrong there? What
It's
is the
s-
issue?
sweat because he has to stand for that long and just like the lighting. It's just all not working in his favor. I
No.
also just want to know what are the qualifications for that award?
Well, Jake, it's funny you should ask because that award dates back to yesterday, when it was
Right. Okay.
invented.
Right. Right.
Yeah, so I mean, literally whatever you want it to be. It I guess it helps to be an infant who has already stolen several trophies from various FIFA events. So maybe they thought like this is one of those things like where if we give him a present of his own, like he won't complain about the other kids getting something, you know? Like like you have to get him something because it's his sister's birthday and he's a brat.
Because he didn't win the Nobel Peace Prize?
Yeah, because he didn't win the Nobel Peace Prize. So to make this one up.
Yep.
Derek, what would you suppose the qualifications are, Derek? Is it being orange and sweaty, or is that just
I mean,
a
yeah,
plus?
I think his sweat is coming out orange at this point. I don't even know what's going on. Yeah,
Years
based
of
on what I
poison.
can see from that trophy, it looked like the qualifications was that your name had to be Donald J. Trump, is what I saw on there. So if you were Donald J. Trump, that trophy was for you, for being you,
Yeah.
for no
It-
other reason.
he outside the press asked him like, did you think what he thought about this award? Because like how he thought that fit with the idea of blowing up votes in Venezuela. And instead of answering the substantive part of the question, all he said was, "Oh, I don't know if I'm going to win it. I don't know. It could be anybody. Could be Lionel Messi. I don't know. Could be anyone really." Uh, it's how fucking embarrassing. Almost as embarrassing as how quickly he grabbed that medal and hung it around his neck. Um,
And then grab the microphone too. Like, that's it. You're done talking. Give me that. Give me this. It's my turn, motherfucker. Like, here we go.
he could not be more cringy if he tried. Is this like, I don't know, maybe it's because he's a pedophile. Because Michael Jackson was like that too, you know what I mean? Like a stage of arrested development, acted like a wanted to act like a t teenager all the time. Like, so I don't know, maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe it has something to do with that sickness of his.
I think it does. Like, that seems to be, not to get too sidetracked here, but like, it is like, it's almost, and I see that with like RFK too, where
Mm.
it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Porky's mentality. Like, we
yeah,
all just, like, and just let it be like that. And that's fine. And that's how it should be. And boys
yeah.
should be going around like, and it's like, what is wrong with you? What?
Porky's. What a great reference.
That's
I
what
could
they all remind me of.
Yeah, I think definitely, especially like what was her name? The Miss Ballbreaker. She's like, she wants to see all the boys' dicks so she can point out the one with the mole on it.
Yep.
Totally the Nancy Mace thing. Like
Yeah.
I'd recognize that tallywhacker anywhere. Fucking nuts. These people are nuts. And he's easily one of the most embarrassing things that's ever happened to this country. Um, and uh just to fact check, first of all, to start with the Congo is one of the worst things he could have said because within hours of that fake agreement in the White House, civilians were fleeing from the Congo because the attacks had intensified. According to sites, the witnesses there, people on the ground are using words like intensifying, um, escalating, not any sort of de-escalation or peace. One of the main uh, I don't know, antagonists in this thing was not even privy to these talks, like was not around for this. The NS-25, I believe they're called, but just basically a group of fighters, and they're fighting the Congolese, and this stuff resumed anywhere from the next, like by the next day, it was back to full on warfare. So to even like pretend like you did anything for peace in the Congo, a conflict has raged for 30 years and it hasn't slowed. It didn't slow yesterday and hasn't slowed today. Not even a little.
I don't know. I don't know a whole lot about that conflict, but what I can tell is like, I mean, look at that pattern. That pattern of what he's doing there is the exact same thing that he's being said in Gaza right now. And it's just, in Ukraine, it's the same thing, just the same,
Hmm.
cycle repeated, rinse and reuse.
Yep. Yeah, it's basically the idea is we give the people with the bigger country all of the concessions, force somebody in the other country to say, yeah, sure, maybe, or whatever, or they just don't even bother to include them. Like they gave Israel and Gaza separate peace deals. Like they didn't even talk, they didn't even like they didn't even sign the same deal.
That's
Um,
exactly it. You like, and just that exact part about the people not even being involved. It's like, oh, that's
yeah,
sounds familiar. Sounds familiar.
right. He's literally just out here to make announcements and collect fucking baubles.
Yep.
That's his whole thing. As long as he collects the things. Jake, will you put up the Israel graphics? So this is what Israel was up to in the meantime, which is another one of the I don't know what you want to call it, ceasefires that he's claiming. Netanyahu says that the end of the first ceasefire is near, and they're going to go to the second stage of the ceasefire, which is wild to me because I haven't seen anybody cease firing anything. This is heartbreaking, but 3-year-old uh, Had Tariq al-Buhouk, sorry if I butchered that name, was shot and killed by Israel in front of her tent in the Al Mawasi safe zone. So inside of the safe zone, the last two children we covered had accidentally crossed the yellow line to collect firewood. This one was on the right side of the line. At least eight civilians have been killed in the past 48 hours, and the U.S. has meanwhile delivered a major shipment of precision-guided bunker-busting munitions to Israel. Did I have a second? Is there? Yes, thank you. Israeli naval forces abducted four Palestinian fishermen off the coast of Gaza. They've also kidnapped as many as 200 people from the West Bank over the past week, just pulling people out of their homes, throwing them into prison. Al Shifa Medical Complex in Gaza reports that out of the 170 injured, 42,000 require surgery. The hospital urgently needs new operating rooms, ICU units, medical supplies, and Israel continues to block all essential aid, I should say aid, despite the so-called ceasefire agreement. So yeah, that's what a ceasefire looks like in Israel, which is sort of what it looks like in the Congo, and also what it looks like in the Sudan, where the RSF, the UA-backed Trump's friends from the UAE, uh, they support the RSF. The RSF would not be what it is without them. And they bombed both a hospital and a daycare. 50 dead, 33 children dead, targeting a daycare. I mean, it doesn't get much more genocidal than that. But when you are in that group, I guess, in the Middle East for Trump, you can get away with all of that, and he'll sit there and call it a peace.
Contrast that image with that orange motherfucker holding that stupid trophy. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
Sickening. It's sickening.
that is the contrast that I want to bring here. I want like as goofy and stupid as he looks holding that thing. It's not just goofy and stupid. It is a slap in the face to the families and the countries that are suffering and people who are dying. Like, what the fuck is this moron doing? Like getting up there and acting like like the piece of shit that he is. Um, India Pakistan obviously is not the tensions really haven't cooled there. They decided not to nuke each other, which really didn't have anything to do with him. I don't know why he keeps bringing that one up. India would prefer if he didn't, and if he wants a peace deal with India or a trade deal with India, he's gonna have to stop talking about that shit because they are just doing business with China and Russia and ignoring us now, which is what most people are doing,
Yep.
just ignoring us. All right. So, uh, President puts out his official foreign policy, speaking of, right? And there's a document that is signed by the president. And people, I'm sure you both encounter them on the internet, as well as many of our listeners who defend to their dying breath will say, you shouldn't call us fascists. We are not fascists. We are not Nazis. But President Trump just signed a document that says you are fascist, you are Nazis. That's what it says. And the Kremlin is like, that's our boy. That's our thing. Wholeheartedly endorsed our national security strategy, said it was completely aligned with the Kremlin's vision. Um, no surprise there, right? I mean, uh, if it's nice, I guess it's nice to have it in writing, but MAGA can't read, so I don't know how that's going to help us in the argument either.
Yes.
Yeah.
Isolate Europe. Sounds like a great plan.
Yeah, I don't know. Jake, you think it's helpful to have them write this stuff out, or do you think it makes no difference? These people don't care.
They
Plus,
don't care. None of them read the big old bill or whatever. None of them read anything. They just go along with the flow, give them a pat on the back when they need something, and that's about it.
yeah, that's true. Even though, yeah, like just like the tariffs and stuff, like there's if only every history book in the history of the world had been able to
Right.
warn them, plus every Nobel laureate, uh, if only they had been FIFA laureate economists, then
Oh,
that that would have given them the legitimacy that we needed. MAGA would have understood. But the document has such historical gems such as the Monroe Doctrine. Literally the Monroe Doctrine, which is one of the things that you learn about its failure in history class, is what you learn about, is how it failed and brought about, it didn't bring about, but it sure as hell didn't help uh the conflict in World War I. like in
Mhm.
World War II. Like it's partially responsible. And definitely a lot more deaths happened because we refused to engage in the conflict sooner, which is almost essentially exactly what we're doing with Ukraine and Russia. Like we are letting it get out of hand before we get involved again. Where we had the boot on the throat of Russia, especially economically. Like there was people around the world were impressed. Putin had been completely driven out of all talks all over the world, and now he's got his proxy there in the President of the United States wherever he goes. Wherever he goes, Putin is now represented across the world, and that is something that Russia has not had for decades. And they are in a better position now than they ever have been, even though they're still broke as fuck, still throwing old men and children out on the front lines of this war. But, human rights have never been really their thing. Um, and even though they, this is what bothers me the most, though, I think, is that like Russia's stated national security situation is that they are an enemy of the United States per Russia, right? Right. So Donald Trump could sit there and be like, yeah, we're friends, but Putin doesn't say that. Russia
No,
has never changed their position. That we are their sworn enemy.
they're
And
just
he,
really, really happy right now that everything is working out so well for them, and they don't have to do anything. He didn't hardly have to do anything to get it. Just kiss, and man,
not, I
Donald
mean,
Trump just kisses his ass so much he can just sit there and kick back. It's crazy.
yeah, little, I mean,
So,
little, I assume this has something to do with the Epstein files, you
Yep.
know?
what?
That is my assumption as well. But we're
No
not
one on
doing
those files
conspiracies
could
tonight.
receive. No one on those files could receive a reward as prestigious as that.
That's that's true. It would have completely disqualified him from the
Right.
prestigious FIFA World
He wouldn't
Peace.
even be nominated if they had a suspicion.
Right. Yeah, you're right. I mean, who would elect a president of the United States who would be suspected
Right.
of being a pedophile?
That'd be crazy.
That would be insane. That would be fucking insane, wouldn't it? Some other highlights, shifting the military from Europe to here. So again, like just inviting World War III. All of our deterrence is shifting away from Europe and toward the continent. Just to make sure that I don't know, Venezuela doesn't. I don't know what Venezuela could even do. They're not doing anything, but that's what's important right now is bringing our military assets back to here. And they're mad because Europe is censoring free speech. Yeah, right. Not like the Trump administration, who locks up anybody who says Israel is not the greatest and kindest, most generous country on the planet, and that they have the biblical right to whatever piece of the planet they so desire. And if they choose to firebomb it before they take it over, then that is also their right. Um, and if you disagree with that, then you can be deported to a third world country or not a third world country. I apologize for that. That's not an appropriate term to a third country, like as one that you're not from, renditioned to. But this free speech has to do with Elon Musk being fined in Europe under their new law that tries to prevent harmful algorithms from targeting people with ads. So all of the important things, all of the important things. It also
Exactly what
crosses,
we
yeah, it also crosses with the stated values in this document, basically saying that they are going to promote, they're no longer going to promote democracy or human rights. Rather, they will promote ideologies that are aligned with theirs and business opportunities that are aligned with theirs, everywhere from the Middle East to elsewhere. But it means Europe will stand on its own now, as they say. And so, yeah, I mean, if you're Russia, you're like, yeah, that's everything I said. You got it all. It's like they like they dictated it to them, and maybe they did. What are the odds, you think? Just real quick, like, what do you guys think? Like, is this? it's a non-zero chance that this came directly from Russia. So, like, give me a percentage. What do you think? 25, 50%?
We could go 50-50.
50-50?
We could do an even 50-50.
A coin flip?
Yeah.
Derek, what
I'm
do you
pretty
think?
skeptical. I'm higher at this point. Like I'm like there's like a 90% chance that this is all just tied together. Like, come on. It's
Yeah.
why are they doing this? There's no reason for him to be doing this unless there's strings being
Mm,
pulled. Like,
yes.
like I get it from a certain standpoint. You just drop Trump in, he's like a nuke, right? He's gonna blow up every situation, and like you can control that from a political standpoint. But like, what is the benefit of giving all these concessions to Russia? Like, I just don't, there's strategy and then there's strings being pulled in my mind. So yeah,
For
I don't
sure.
know. Like I said, it's not conspiracies today, but if it were.
But yet it is. It always is. Like I have to I can't like just outright brush things off anymore because QAnon had some points. And so now I have to listen to everything. I can't dismiss anything out of pocket. Uh, I'm I'm probably 60-40, 70-30. Like I think it's a pretty high chance that if they didn't outright write it, they definitely told them everything that they wanted. And I don't think they missed anything. They probably gave them some stuff they didn't ask for. That seems to be the way Trump negotiates. Be like, yeah, also you can have this too. Be like, but I haven't given you anything. Be like, okay, fine, have some more. Fucking unbelievable. I I don't know. If so, at this point, like MAGA can't say that they're not fascist because their leader says they are fascist, and their actions say it. And I mean, the extrajudicial killings in the Pacific, like this shit, like it's all fascist, authoritarian bullshit. And like there's you can't deny it. I just I don't know. It's crazy, and they're so head up their own ass. It's hard to believe there's still like even a 36% support for this. It's wild to me. Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck is wrong with you people?
That's just that's what the percentage of our country is just ignorant. Like, just can't,
Yeah,
sorry.
whoa,
Like,
can't and won't. I mean, it's got
yeah,
to be a little bit of won't too. You know what I
right.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
er,
Yes, there's intention in there as well, but oh
yeah,
man.
right. Ah, fuck, unbelievable. All right, so here's a little example. So Trump has been given pardons all over the place, and there's a lot of clear quid pro quos. Some people have just outright paid him, yada yada yada. He hasn't actually admitted it though until today. So Trump pardons Henry Cuellar. Henry Cuellar is a Democratic congressman from Texas, border town area, right? He is about as conservative of a Democrat as you can hope to be. He is like a disappointed Republican, really. He is anti choice. He is super cracked down on immigration, even though, he's from that area. Yeah. So he's uh uh, so Trump pardons him for bribery. This man was taking thousands of dollars, him and his wife, from Azerbaijan and some Mexican bank. And there's like the evidence against him is pretty overwhelming. Like it's very clear this man was taking bribes. Quid pro quo. It's not close. Trump uh is a little bit worried about losing the House, and so he decides to give this guy a pardon, apparently assuming that he would uh, turn coat and become a Republican. Why not? He's practically a Republican already. But he filed for re-election, which is just, I mean, these politicians have no normal human shame. What? This, like, you were just confirmed. He's like, well, time to file for re-election. Uh, so that's what he does, and he registers as a Democrat. And so that uh pissed off the orange man. Jake, you have his little clippet of a tweet that I sent you, please. He was more than a little bit upset about this one. And let's see what he says here. Um oh nope, that's for Valentina
Uh,
Gomez. Yes.
there's another tweet. Is it the just all
It's
black
just all
one?
black one, yep.
Yep.
Clip from a newspaper. So it's okay, so that this is the statement from Trump on one of his socials. I don't know which. I never spoke to the congressman, his wife, or his daughters, but felt very good about fighting for a family that was tormented by very sick and deranged people. They were treated so badly. Trump wrote in a post on his Truth Social site on Sunday. Such lack of loyalty, something that Texas voters and Henry's daughters will not like. Oh, well, next time, no more Mr. Nice Guy. So, I mean, as you can see, that is as about as clear as you can put it that this man fully expected to be compensated for this pardon and was not. Uh, do you think there's any chance that we're ever going to like even once Democrats take power back, if they take power back, if that's still a thing in a couple of years, uh, do you think that anybody's going to uh talk about this, or are we just gonna like let the pardons slide? And those will just be like lost to history because there's so much other shit. Because it's pretty bad. Like this is pretty bad.
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, I hope that they go back and look at some of the stuff that that's the pardons, and there's just so much. I mean, so many executive orders that he's thrown out there. It's like, how do you go back and reverse all this damage, and where do you start? It's so much, but I would hope that, starting with January 6ers, just put them all back. I
Yeah,
start there, and then start looking at, the people that he's this I guess the one-offs that we know are connected to either giving him money or and start getting after those people. But again, where do you start if and when we get to that point?
yeah. I don't know. Jake, we were talking in the car the other day, and I brought up the idea that that one guy has that whoever the next Democratic candidate is should prioritize rebulldozing whatever Trump puts up.
Mhm.
What do you think? Pardons, bulldoze, equal priority?
See, this is the thing. Like, who gauges like what's first to tackle? Like these people could be left alone for years and years. Like I could see it not being brought up
One,
for several presidencies after, you know what I mean? Until someone's like, you know what? Maybe we should look back at this, Like you could totally just be steamrolled over with no hesitation? Because like obviously on both sides they don't care sometimes. So like
no,
who's really gonna fight for the justice of these things? It's not clear. So
no. It's not even clear like that Jeffries is like fully on board with like impeachment yet. Like we're still
right,
not there. Um, which is just insane to me. But like the way I see it, what I fear the most is that like they'll punish the J6ers as they should. Um, but a lot of these white collar criminals that like that's literally stole millions, sometimes billions of dollars from regular everyday people will go unpunished. While the person who steals gloves from Dollar General to sell them behind the bar, uh, for a couple extra bucks to stay warm, and there's more than one way to stay warm, folks. Okay, stay warm, lighting fires. Uh, he is going to go to prison. He'll go to jail repeatedly. But these people can steal millions of dollars from people, and it's not even hardly considered a crime. Like when they get pardoned, people hardly blink.
right.
Oh, just remember, it's a crime to sleep outside now, so that
Right,
too. Can't be homeless anymore. That's illegal.
for sure. Oh, Captain Gavin Newsom's on top of that. Boy,
Yeah,
he hates to see
loves it.
a homeless hate to see him coming, boy.
Not in his state.
What an asshole. I just people that shit bothers me so much. Like how can you be so fucking callous to be like, "Man, you're sleeping outside." Well, I'm gonna throw out your blanket Like, excuse me? I already don't have a house. Like, now I don't have a blanket either. What a piece
Mhm.
of absolute garbage.
It's actually one of my favorite things that anytime Gavin Newsom gets brought up on this podcast, one of the first things to hear about is how he fucking treats homeless people. And I'm like, good.
Yeah.
That's what
Like,
should be brought up.
right. Like, let's not lose the plot here. I think he's coming back down to earth. He even said the other day, like, he wouldn't tax the rich, which is just not a super popular position among Democratic voters right now. He's like, well, I want it to be a big tent party. I don't think that you do, or you don't understand what that means. One of the two. You know, they want that. They want that. That's why people like Gavin Newsom. Democrats like a Gavin Newsom would be the exact kind who would ignore the pardons for, the crypto billionaires and the Medicaid scammers and focus on the J6ers, which they should, but it should be equal application under the law. It needs to be something that actually applies here in America at some point if we're ever going to get this thing right. And it never has. It never has. It has always been racist. It's always been anti-poor. It's always been, but it's never been this bad. Well, okay, it's been this bad before, but like it had been better for a short period, and it's just not. Now it's just completely blown up. We are as bad as it's ever been. It's something that has to be addressed.
It just
Oh,
keeps getting worse. The more and more that they keep skating by, the more we let off, the worse it gets. You just see it, like you said, it's the worst it's ever been, and we're just seeing it more.
yeah. Wage theft.
Blatant,
Wage
blatant.
theft is the most common, the most egregious crime that happens here, and it is never, ever prosecuted. These are the things we would need. This is what we need out of Democratic AGs. Like this is what we need these things prosecuted. You have got to take these. We've got, if you're not taking on corporations, if you're not taking on billionaires, if you're not breaking up companies and taxing the fuck out of people, and we're so off balance tax wise, like we are not doing the job. You have got to do that job. If you're not speaking that language, you are speaking this fucking status quo, and the status quo is what brought fascism. So if you actually want to escape fascism, this is what people have to understand, especially in the center, that you will not escape fascism by returning to what brought us fascism. Especially there's so many Republicans who've come to the Democratic side with all of their stupid ideas that got this in this mess in the first fucking place. People who worked for the Bush campaign and stuff are out here like on MSNBC now, being talking about what Democratic strategy should be. You know what Democratic strategy should be to tell you people to shut the fuck up and go home. Like that's what Democratic strategy should be. To not speak to anyone who had anything to do with George W. Bush, with anything that's happened in the past 30 years. Like you should be disqualified. All of you need to go shut the fuck up. We've listened to you plenty. Thank you very much. I didn't mean to go on that big of a rant. It just happened. I don't know what happened.
I think
Mhm.
it's really important to focus on. I mean, especially as we're going into this next year. And I mean, like we just have to focus on looking for the people that are out there doing the work that are for us. Like, because there's people out there that are fighting. You guys bring them up quite frequently here, but it's like, we as citizens need to be demanding this of our representatives, right? Like we have to be engaged. We have to be, like I said, we have to demand it because
Yeah,
if we don't, they'll just skate by on the status quo because it's just the easiest thing to do, and it will wind up right back where we are. So yeah.
100%. If you let one little thing slide, but people, because okay, this is how I'm gonna transition this because this is what like these people who vote GOP, who are in any sort of minority group, like to believe that if they go along with the broskies are going to let them be one of the bros. But that's just not the way fraternities work, right? It just never works out. You've got your Latinos for Trump, you've got your gays for Trump, you've got all these little subsets for Trump, and not a single one of them has seen a lick of respect. And it only makes sense because it happens every time, anytime you try to leave behind anyone in the conversation about human rights, sooner or later, it comes for your rights. You can't leave the door open to anyone's violation of human rights. So with that said, Marjorie Taylor Greene is rehabbing her image, trying to talk about how she's a fresh new person. I'm sorry we got to talk about MTG every time we have Derek on.
Bad luck.
That's just luck of the draw. This is Jake's favorite nickname of Trump's in a long time. Uh,
Marjorie Taylor Brown is one of my favorites.
I
It is so childish and so stupid. It's like something that you come up with on like the preschool playground, and it's brings me so much joy.
it's hands down one of the most juvenile. I will definitely
It's
grant you
so
that.
stupid. Marjorie Taylor Brown.
Marjorie Taylor Brown, and
Got her,
then
dude. Got her.
nailed it. Damn, bro. Lay off. She's already dead. Oh shit. So the Marjorie says that the GOP mocks Trump behind closed doors. What a bunch of fucking big, bold men those are, you know? Behind closed doors, they mock Trump, but they're afraid because they don't want to be true socialed, which is one of the saddest things. Like, if you are a Republican and insist on being a Republican and voting Republican, first of all, please go to therapy. Second of all, please stop voting for the same Republicans that are here because this Congress, all 435 of them, have turned out to be some of the softest, saddest fucking members of Congress that you could ever possibly have. Without hardly a fight, they have all capitulated their power to Donald John Trump for no reason. And that is not what Congress is supposed to be. Congress is the Article 1 power. They are the number one check. Without Congress, the whole system falls apart. It's kind of more of a keystone or a linchpin, but it has to it has to function for this thing to function. So vote them all out. Honestly, like there are some that I like even, but I wouldn't be sad to see him go in favor of somebody else at this point because like y'all had your chance. Wouldn't bother me. Would not bother me one bit. But let's play a little Marjorie Taylor Greene because she's a changed woman. This is a rehab tour. Um, and of course, we all distrust everything about this woman and have absolutely do not believe anything that she says. So I don't need to ask that question, but here's what rehab looks like to image rehab looks like to Margaret Taylor Greene.
Did you apologize for your position on Parkland, Florida?
What was my position on Parkland, Florida?
That it was a false
I don't know if
flag?
you actually have my position. No, I never said Parkland was a false
Did
flag.
you?
No, I've never said that. School shootings are horrible. I don't think it's anything to joke about.
We fact-checked before I got to this interview.
Have you fact-checked all my statements from kindergarten through 12th grade and in college, and as I've paid my taxes and never broken a law? And I got a few speeding tickets. Do we need to talk about those too? Because
This is the GOP's finest, guys. This is what they got to offer.
No,
Um,
we don't need to talk about those. We're talking about the thing that we just called you out on, man.
yeah.
We give two shits about your speeding tickets.
No, fuck your speeding tickets. Oh my God. Why would you think that had any relevance whatsoever?
Mm.
If you're gonna be an asshole all the time, like have better outs. The Republic they just don't have good outs. They never know how to cover their own tracks, especially her. So clearly she hasn't changed. She's had plenty of opportunities. Uh, Trump has threatened just about everyone recently. Uh, Minority Leader Jeffries was threatened by Trump, and people threatened his life. They arrested that guy. Marjorie Taylor Greene's statement was nothing. Uh, the Somalis, Trump came out and dissed an entire group of people, and boy, I know this will surprise you. Marjorie Taylor Greene did not have anything to say in defense of the Somali people. Isn't that fascinating?
That's crazy.
I mean, they're American citizens. Whatever could be the issue? Interesting. Um, one of the most well, let's before we get that, because all of these MAGA women just ignore the fact that MAGA hates women. Trump called those reporter a piggy the other day, and Marjorie Taylor Greene said nothing about that. Unbelievable. Like you would think, like obviously she's not going to say anything about the Somalis, but you could say something. about the piggy thing, right? Like something, you
I
know,
think.
you would think if there was a spot to pick, that would be it. Probably the grossest thing. Well, maybe it's not. I don't know. It's hard to keep track. One of the grossest things that's happened is Trump calling Tim Walz the R word, and then the reaction of MAGA world has been to uh, drive past the house yelling the slur at the home. Jake, you have that picture. It's the two girls in the trunk. Yes, thank you. This is a post on Threads, actually. Congrats to Tampon Tim for turning Minnesota into a case study of what not to do. And the picture says, "Get in, loser. We're going to Tim Walz's house and yelling R word." Sophia Bush replies to her credit. Hey, James, that's me on the left. You do not have my consent to use my image for the harassment of a public official. Delete this or expect to hear from my lawyer and the lawyers for the OP brand whose ad campaign you are using without permission as well. Shame on you. Good for her. But that's what's been going on ever since Trump decided to say that, like that people are driving past the house uh and yelling that. And for those who don't know or may have forgotten, Tim Walz's son Gus is special needs. What was one of the I don't know. They made fun of him during the election too, but I thought that was one of the sweetest things I've ever seen um in my life. I don't know.
Yep.
I like to
Yeah,
say
as
it.
a dad and a son to watch that is was like that was beautiful, you know. I mean, the
Yeah.
pride in his eyes to and just and then you again contrast that and the people made fun of that, right? So that
Yeah.
even that didn't get seen for what it was. It got made fun of. And then now you go to this degree of harassment and it's just like where is your humanity? Where is it gone? To
Yeah.
that you can do this to people and just not feel anything about it, you know?
Feel nothing.
I, yeah,
Yeah. I mean, it goes back to what I said. It's not genuine if it's exclusive. You know, there's no such thing as human rights for some,
Right.
no matter where you draw that line. I don't know. That was such a good moment. You remember that, Jake? We were watching that. We watched that at your old apartment, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
Made me tear it.
Yeah. It still does a little bit for me. That's like it was
Mm-hmm.
just such a nice moment. You know what else I like too, though, is his sister came out and she does some clapback videos from time to time. But boy, she's a fierce defender of her little brother, and I think that's very sweet too. So, uh, just
They hate to see a progressive family unit.
oh, for sure,
They hate to see it.
for sure.
No, I'm talking about this because while my family and I are always going to be the bigger people, the president calling my dad what he did has unleashed a storm regarding like offensive language towards me and my family and specifically my brother. You can call me whatever you want. You can call my dad, my mom. When it's Gus, to the no. To the no. He dealt with people calling him that last August, and now there's a resurgence. And no, how is it okay that the president of the United States can call somebody, anybody, doesn't matter who they are, that, and then all of his freaking cult members come and attack those people and that person's family? Say what you want about my dad. He's an elected official, right? Like that's going to happen. I think it's utterly disgraceful that the president would do that. But then the attacks that I have seen, I have people DMing me saying absolutely horrendous things. When I was home last week, somebody drove by and screamed that we were R words, just driving by in their car. I'm like, what worlds are we living in? And again, I draw the line at Gus because he dealt with that before and not again. You people are disgraceful. Shame on you, all of you.
Mm,
Yeah, good for her.
that was great.
Yeah, couldn't ask for much better than that. Um, just why, I feel like it was worth it's definitely worth replaying as much as possible. Because I just feel like that's so good. And I just don't understand too, like these people just keep getting left behind. We got another person I want to talk about is Elise Stefanik. Um, Elise Stefanik is currently running for governor, but may be dropping out of that as well. When Trump got elected, Elise Stefanik was in Congress. Elise Stefanik was on a committee. Elise Stefanik was, I think, the third most powerful Republican in Congress at the time. Uh, she was in the running for all sorts of things. Career was going great. Um, when Trump got elected, she used to be moderate and she turned full MAGA. So when she got elected, he offered her a spot as the UN ambassador. Nice promotion, super cushy job, sets you up for bigger politics. It's deputy houses, balls, it's all this stuff. Uh, well, after all the scandals and the quitting early on in the Trump administration, the House majority got real narrow, and Trump told her she couldn't leave Congress. So she went back for him. But they had already given away all of her positions of power and seats, so she lost all that. She goes to run for governor. She's, out there. She's running a, decent campaign in New York, uh, calling Zoran Mamdani a jihadist, communist, lunatic, everything but a nice young man. And Donald Trump gets spends 5 minutes with him in the White House and says, "Nah, nah, he's all right. She's crazy. She's just saying things. She's just saying things because it's an election." So now her fucking governor's bid is over too. So now she's trying to attack Mike Johnson for his speakership role. And best of luck to her. God bless her heart. But you know, it's a party that doesn't want her to have the right to vote. Like
Right.
they introduced the SAVE Act this year. What makes the women of MAGA think that they're ever going to have a spot there?
Mm.
I I don't know. The pick me energy is nauseating.
Yeah, it's just try to get as close as you can to that seat of power to try to protect yourself. If there's some of that mentality in it, but
Yeah, self-preservation.
yeah, but I mean, it's not a very good self-preservation tactic at this point, given the track record. It's
Right. Just standing as close as you can to the spinning blade.
that's great
Hoping,
analogy.
right. I hope it hits somebody else before it gets me. But it's crazy, man. Like she's really got fucking pwned. Just punked. Just punked. Um, yeah. And I got so one more example. We've got you may remember we highlighted this maniac before. She started her campaign off by with an ad that took a blowtorch to the Quran. Um, she's officially just an awful human being. And I'll give you a little sample. I won't play too much of this, but
Texas, I've officially filed to become your next congresswoman. So the choice is yours. Vote for me so we can kick.
I'm just gonna read it because that's going to totally get us copyright infringement. I didn't hear the song when I downloaded this. So it says, "I'm officially running for U.S. Congress. I will make Texas the worst place for terrorists, Muslims, and illegals. So help me God." For me, this is you. This is an election, but for you, this is your life. Jesus is king. This is a Colombian-born immigrant, Valentina Gomez, who thought that if she tried hard enough, Trump would pick her. She showed up to an LGBT plus friendly church, and tried to start shit there. It was escorted out. She calls everybody groomers and pedophiles, which might have been the bridge too far. Uh, might have hit a little too close to home with that one. Uh, but for whatever reason, Jake, do you have Donald Trump's endorsement of her?
I do.
Can you put that up for us? So she was working hard for that endorsement, and then Donald Trump sent out this tweet. Congressman John Judge Carter is a fantastic representative for the Texas's 31st congressional district. Judge served over 20 years as a district court judge in Williamson County prior. Wait, that's not her name. Wow. This long, uh, coherent endorsement, clearly written by somebody else, uh, is not for her at all. So after all of that, selling her soul and her people down the river for no fucking reason, they don't want you. They don't want you. It's the same with like Vivek Ramaswamy. The comments are racist as fuck. They don't want to vote for anyone who isn't white dude. Sorry. I mean, it's crazy, but it's the truth.
Yeah, their voter base is going to look at that and be like, "What? What?
Right.
What do you mean?"
Yeah. No, they literally, I didn't bring, I only saw some of the comments and I was like, yeah, those are gross. So just know they're gross. That's all you need to know about them. Think of what you exactly expect out of them, multiply by two, and you have your answer. Yeah. Well, all right, you can take her down. Let's talk real quick about this, and then we'll get out of here. Uh, our moronic HHS secretary is also doing things. So RFK Jr. ended the mandate for the Hep B vaccine for children. Uh, Hep B is extraordinarily contagious. It is not just passed on from the mother to the child. A child can get it from surfaces, from other people, anywhere really. And it has a kill rate of 25% among children under 12 who catch it. So it's nearly eradicated thanks to vaccination. Um, but that's not the version of Make America Healthy Again uh, that people want. This is this is bad. Like this one's really bad. And it of all the bad stuff that happens, it's hard. This one, the stuff that he does can get lost sometimes, but this is really fucking bad, guys. Like this is a dead disease coming back. It-
Yeah, and for what? For what reason to get rid of that? I mean, so this is for me like this topic, especially when it goes into like vaccines and his whole theory that they, cause autism and all
mm,
that. Like I have an autistic child. So to even start getting into that conversation for me is like it gets emotional because, it's it's not evidence-based. There's nothing to back it up. And somehow this guy is out here making decisions about our health. And like you said, like this is it just kind of like I hadn't even heard about this. I didn't hear
mm,
about this one. There was a different one that I had heard about that he had just gotten rid
yeah.
of for
Hmm.
women's health. But and that's all going by the wayside quietly too. So it's how quietly this all happens and how it without any evidence, without any science behind it. And then there's people that will hear him get up and somehow they listen to that. He's
I don't.
fucking deranged
I,
motherfucker. He gets up and people are like, yup, yup. The anger that comes up out of me when we to get into this conversation is, it's real. It's real because I can't tolerate it.
no, it's righteous. I mean, it's righteous and it's dangerous. This is one of the things Hep B gets blamed on loose women and the gays. Like that's the idea. So like basically what Trump and them are saying is that well, there's no danger to people who don't deserve it. That's essentially what these mandates mean. And like I said, it's completely untrue. But that's the way that they work. That's the way that the world works. That's the way that the world works. Trump still believes in this, you know, the way things were when he was a kid. He believes that that's too much liquid for one baby, and that you just can't give that much liquid to a baby because the baby is small and the liquid is big. And if you put big
Right.
liquid into the baby, I mean,
Forgot. I forgot the big, I
you
forgot
guys see this is the problem. You sit there and you criticize, but you don't even listen to the
the
science.
liquid. It was too much liquid. That's right. Yep.
Yep, that's too big.
Okay.
The liquid's too big for the
Okay.
baby. Jake, you can't give put big liquid in a baby. It'll blow up.
Right. I know they eat like 8 ounces. That's so much. God forbid a shot on top of that, it blow
Yeah.
up like a balloon. I just want to know, like, are they really just fighting this because of like the whole vaccine conspiracy stuff? Like they're just like,
It's all of it, okay? Like if you like see some of the MAGA stuff that like they post when they post about this stuff, it's all of those things that I just mentioned. Even like to the point where there was a guy who the other day posted a conspiracy theory, not a conspiracy theory, a factual scientific theory, according to this guy, that McDonald's was the reason for the rise in homosexuality, right?
hell
So
yeah.
it's because McDonald's something something testosterone in the chicken nuggets yada yada Jewish people entered the chat about 5 slides in. Um but yeah, I mean and it's all because of, the, beef tallow was the answer. It's because they stopped frying the fries in beef tallow. So clearly, you're like Derek, you're like, well, I don't know how they sit there and listen to this, and Jake, you're like, I don't understand, like, who are they trying to blame here, guys? What you have to really understand is like, you're just setting the bar too high. Like,
They're just doing it because they're evil people.
yeah, they're just evil, and whatever excuse you give them, they'll roll with it.
Somehow that's consistently my problem, and I don't know how, because I feel like I keep lowering it and
Hmm.
it's still too high.
Yeah, it's rough, man. I don't know how to like let it hang any lower. It's just
God forbid I thought it was something.
yeah, yeah, it's not anything. It's just they're just stupid. They're just stupid. I mean, I'll tell you, like, okay, so there is some stuff that you can like track, like so like the Tylenol causes autism thing. Tylenol causes autism. Tylenol's stock nosedives. Company purchases Tylenol company. RFK says, "Oh, never mind. We didn't mean that." I mean, that one doesn't seem like a coincidence.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this probably has something to do with beef tallow too. I just missed that part. As long as you fry the
Methyl,
Tylenol at first,
methylfolate,
yeah,
rather Tylenol, something beef tallow.
then it's safe. But until you've boiled it in tallow, it'll make your baby gay and autistic. Which
Hmm.
sounds kind of nice, actually.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good kid.
Is
Don't
there,
boil.
if there
Yeah.
was a for sure way, like to have a gay son.
Hmm.
I don't know where I was going with that. But like I was just like maybe that'd be cool, but I was like, why
Yeah, no.
why would I also put my child through that? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I don't know. Sometimes.
I get that. Even like, yeah, sit there and be bemused as a parent, like, oh my God, like I don't want them to have to suffer at all.
Mm, right.
So it is what it is. Uh, but these people are not basing this in reality, let alone science. So,
Yeah.
and that's what's frightening about the worst people in the world being in charge of things. It's because yeah,
They all do a
these
lot of drugs. Lots of drugs.
man, don't they?
Well,
Man,
if you have
don't
a lot
they?
of money, you can do a lot of drugs. That's the thing.
Damn, you know what? I'm glad you brought that up because I did bring this little video and we didn't get to it, but now we're gonna get to it. Because this is, here in the meritocracy, only the best people get hired to do the jobs. And so we have here the CEO of Palantir, whom we give so much of our tax money to because we need to be surveilled. We can't be trusted. And so we need to have our privacy invaded by this man. So you all know Peter Thiel, probably. But this is the other guy. This is the CEO. His name's Alex Bragg or Cragg or some dumb shit like that. And here he is in public, right after hitting the pipe.
When we began talking, annoying each other 10 years ago, hopefully I'm annoying you as much as 10 years ago, or more, when I made you know this, yeah. Every decision Palantir made, FDEs, going public, building products, enterprise, large data sets, going to government, acknowledging American superiority, being pro-meritocracy, launching an AI platform, calling into question that AI models would actually be able to perform without orchestration. Every single one, our ontology, every single one of those was viewed as stupid. lot of decisions.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
guy.
I know that feeling.
Yeah, right. Right. Shut this. This one. If you did that, I mean, when I put myself at risk of getting fired anytime I did that at my workplace. This man is at no risk of being fired over this. Clearly,
It was
clearly drug
10 billion that said, right? 10 billion
billion.
contract. Yeah.
Yeah. hmm Yes,
He's
multiple.
elated.
Yes, absolutely. This guy, Palantir, by the way, almost 60% of the revenue comes from subsidies. So almost entirely, almost practically a government should be government owned, honestly. Like if you're gonna spend that much money on a company, it's the government's company. Uh, but that's a discussion for another show. But point being here though is that this guy and Palantir are one of the main profiteers off of all of the ICE raids as well. So they own private prisons. They have surveillance contracts, weapons contracts. They are every time you see this egregious uh, violence from ICE, I want you to think of Palantir and think of how much you don't like your tax dollars going to genocide in Gaza. Well, this is your tax dollars going to the Gestapo here at home, brought to you by and sponsored by Palantir. So that's your guy. That's where your tax money's going. Just, just something to think about.
Yep.
Something to chew on. All right, that's our time. That's all the time we got. I mean, that's all the time we have. We don't have no more. Thanks for watching, listening, liking, subscribing. Thanks for becoming part of the Derealization Nation and helping this thing grow. Uh, Real big splurge of subscribers on YouTube, and we really, really appreciate that. We need more to get pushed onto the algorithm, and it's working. So thank you all. You can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. It is at Derek Rohde on TikTok, and you can find him there as well. Um, until next time, I'm John,
I'm Jake.
Derek.
and that's what's left. Oh yeah, we don't have anything cool to say at the end because Brad's not here.
Right.
Damn.
I was
Uh,
trying to think of something, but I didn't have anything.
Did Ohio State lose?
all right. Bye.